So this is gonna be the last and the only video that you need to see about Windows 11, because in this video I'm gonna talk about everything, and by everything I literally mean everything about Windows 11, and who knows, some of the things you haven't heard before from anybody. So let's just jump into it. So first, let's start with the usual, the design. It is what Microsoft is calling a glassy looking design. That means it has a lot of transparency, and to be honest, it kind of looks good and modern with rounded corners, the trend rounded corners that every single OS doing, like Android, iOS, macOS, and now Windows joined the party with a lot of colors. Yes, it has much more splashy colors, which makes it modern, but yet also keep it neutral so it doesn't look way too flashy. And also now you have a widget support. Yes, a widget, which is essentially the new news activity tab announced with Windows 10's latest update, but it is much more intuitive and cloud based, and it's also much better as per Microsoft. And also the taskbar is centered now, so it doesn't start from a corner, it starts from a center. And talking about start, by default the start menu would be also on the center, but you can also switch it back to the place that we all love, at the corner. And also the new start menu is much more simple, and also it will recommend you by your behavior, like recommend you the documents and apps by how you use your Windows. It is cloud based. And also talking about cloud, Microsoft, with Windows 11 you have the default or inbuilt support of Microsoft Team. But again, I don't know why they are using Team, because they also own Skype. Yes, Microsoft owns Skype, and they can easily use Skype because it is much more preferred video chatting application, to be honest. And people use Skype as a verb, like, oh, I'm gonna Skype you. They use it as a verb. And on the other hand, Microsoft Team is kind of oriented in the business side of things. Like if you hear Microsoft Team, then generally you think, okay, this is a business oriented app. It didn't break through as Zoom. Like, Zoom suddenly became the default video calling or video chatting app in the pandemic, but Team doesn't became that. It's still the preferred video chatting or video calling application for big large teams. They also improved the whole window management with Windows 11. Now you can hover over the maximize button, and you will be able to see default layout of how you're gonna stack your windows. Now, to be honest, the window snapping or the window stacking feature was always and still is the best in Microsoft. Yes, Linux has this stacking or snapping feature for a long time, and macOS is just a mess when it comes to window management. But I prefer Microsoft's way of doing things. And also with this window management, you have a new option called window grouping, where it will keep track of your windows or how you laid out or how you made your layout of stacking windows. Like, here's a certain application on this corner, a certain application on this corner, a certain application. So it will remember all that, and when you need that layout again, it will automatically open up to that preferred layout. And also in Windows 11 you can individually change your virtual desktop's wallpaper. So if you set up your desktop for productivity or work, you can set up the wallpaper which oozes productivity, and on the other hand, another desktop which you set it for gaming, and you make a flashy gamery wallpaper. So to separate two different workflows. And there is also a window memorization feature, kind of. So if you don't know, in Windows 10, if you use a external monitor with your laptop, then you are working, you open few tabs, and then you disconnect your laptop, the whole tab and layout just becomes a mess. But from now on in Windows 11, it will remember how all the windows were or how the layout were. So whenever you disconnect and then reconnect, it will go back to its place automatically. You don't have to do anything, and that's it. It sounds like a very small feature, but if you do it at a day-to-day base, these small incremental features can save up a lot of time in a long run. Next, you can also install Android apps through Microsoft Store. They revamped the Microsoft Store and also they introduced Android apps, but it's not the same way like most of the emulators do. It's a little bit different yet same. Let me explain. So in Microsoft Store, you have to install Amazon App Store. The Amazon App Store where you can buy and install Android apps. So you need to have an Amazon account, and also you need to have the Amazon app installed on your Windows 11 desktop. Then you need to go to Windows App Store, and then you should be able to download any Android apps, but this is not natively running, and Microsoft is doing this by the help of Intel Bridge technology, which is essentially runtime compiler kind of thing. So it's not 100% native, but like to put it in a proper term, it's the official way of sideloading Android apps in your Windows device. That's like the best explanation that I can come to. And also Windows 11 is going to be 64-bit only, so no 32-bit support. And with Windows 11, Microsoft introduced new sounds, a totally new yet a little bit familiar startup sound. Now that was all the things that Microsoft told us on the event, and most of the videos are focusing on. Now let's just look under the hood, which I don't think a lot of people are talking about, and even Microsoft didn't talk about all those things on the event. First, we all heard the news that Windows 11 is putting much more emphasis on hybrid CPU design, and as we all know, both AMD and Intel working on mainstream hybrid CPU design. So if you don't know what hybrid CPU design is, it's essentially the same CPU design or the SoC design you have on your smartphone, which probably you are watching this video on. So some cores are going to be much more high power, or the cores that going to do the heavy lifting, and some going to be much more efficient. With Windows 11 now, you have the auto HDR feature, which means that all the games that don't support HDR, and if you have a HDR monitor, then it will automatically transfer it or change it to HDR, which previously it was very much lackluster, but now Microsoft saying that it is much better. And also with Windows 11, you have direct storage support, not only in the OS level but also at a driver level, and the direct storage will definitely drastically improve your gaming experience, because it will load up your game much more faster. Like if you own a Xbox Series X, then you are familiar with what I'm talking about. It's not going to be as fast as PS4s, but who knows, we haven't tried it, so it could be much more faster than PS4s or even Xbox One Series X's. Xbox Game Pass is now integrated to Xbox app, which comes with Windows 11 preloaded. With Windows 11, Microsoft is putting a lot of emphasis on mobile devices with touch input, with much bigger touch targeting, with a lot of haptic feedback, and also they made the auto rotation much more streamlined. So if you are using your Microsoft Surface laptop or tablet that they have, and you're using two tabs side by side or two windows side by side in a vertical form, and then you rotate it on a horizontal form, then it will notice that now you're using your device on a horizontal form, and then it will rotate all the windows like they should be on horizontal form. They also briefly mentioned voice commands and dictation. They haven't talked about it a lot, but it is a helpful feature, and it is going to be a free upgrade coming to Windows 10 user later this year, and standalone copies will be available at 2022. The timing is not yet properly defined, or they haven't said when like it's going to be Q1, Q2, Q3 or Q4. They haven't said that, but it's hitting the shelves next year. And pricing, well, if I have to make an educated guess, then Windows 11 Home would be around $100, and Windows 11 Pro would be around $120 or $29-ish. I don't think they're gonna make it more, but around that body. And for system requirements, you need a CPU with 2 or more cores, 4 gigs of RAM, at least 64 gigs of storage, and a GPU which is compatible with DirectX 12. And also one thing that they didn't mention on the video, you need a TMP chip module and a secure boot BIOS enabled on your motherboard. Also, you need a Microsoft account and a working internet connection to set up Windows 11 Home for the first time. But if you use the Microsoft account to set up Windows 11 Home, then you might lose some features. The timeline feature would be removed, the taskbar would be locked at the bottom of your screen, the start menu will no longer feature folder groups or lifestyle, and also you cannot resize the menu, and there's gonna be no tablet mode. Now this was all the things that you need to know about Windows 11, and I'm sure after watching this far you might have a question. Well, yes, this is a good and a very drastic improvement over Windows 10, but why make it a different OS? Like, they are upgrading it for free if you use Windows 10, and probably a lot of people around the world use Windows 10. I think majority of the people use Windows 10 right now. So why this and why right now? Well, if you see right around everywhere, like Apple is upgrading macOS, so Android is getting better day by day. So I think Microsoft has done this to create a hype around this new OS, because if when Microsoft announces or puts out an update for Windows 10, it doesn't get enough hype. So I think to create that hype, they were like separated it from Windows 10, but that doesn't mean you have to upgrade to Windows 11 right away, because Microsoft will support Windows 10 for 2025, which is over 10 years. So you don't have to upgrade it right away. And yes, it brings some really helpful feature, but there are few other things that I would love to see in future updates. Like one of the biggest one, and that is a tab option on File Manager. The File Manager is great on Windows. Like, it is the best file manager that you can get in any OS, period. At least I feel that. But one major thing it's missing, and that is a tab option. Like, every time you need to open a certain thing, you need to open it in a new window. But if they rolls out an update where you will be able to have the option to have tabs, it will improve the whole file management in so many ways. So I would love to see that. But other than that, I don't think that I have too many complaints about Windows 11. And talking about me, when I'm gonna upgrade to Windows 11, well, to be honest, right away, when Microsoft will launch the update or start to rolls out the update, I would upgrade to Windows 11 right away. But I won't be installing Windows 11, the leak ISO. No, I won't be doing that, even though it is very stable. It is very stable, but it is still missing some features because it is a very earlier build. So that's the reason I'm not gonna use Windows 11, at least right now. But when Microsoft rolls out the update, I'm definitely gonna upgrade over to Windows 11. Now let me know in the comment section, are you guys happy with the new updates, or you would love to see more new features from Microsoft? Let me know in the comment section. And also tell me in the comment section, are you guys gonna upgrade right away to Windows 11 or not? I would love to know your thoughts. And this is it for this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you haven't liked it, well, hit the dislike button. It will hurt. Like, after talking for so long, if you dislike this video after telling you guys everything, you guys gonna dislike it, it's gonna hurt, obviously. But hey, you are a free man, do whatever you want to do. And if you want to watch more videos from us, check out this video right here. And if you want to subscribe, well, go ahead, do it by here. And this is Akash. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.